Very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH286, Patricia and David, sounding quite excited because some of the boats have left today, and I'm sure there'll be more tomorrow and a lot more on Monday. And it's a reasonable day to leave, actually. It started off cloudless, but now it's, this is Auckland area. It is 18 degrees C, still warm for this time of the year. Only 5 knots of sou'wester here, but let me tell you, the barometer is 1022, which is actually 10 millibars more than what it was this time last night. So there is wind out there, and we have had a WhatsApp from Margarita. I'll tell you about that in a moment, and they have got 20 knots from the southwest. Anyway, we've got about 25 to 30% cloud. Oh, it's probably down to 20% again now, sort of coming and going. So, yep, we've got 3 boats to talk to tonight. Well, I'll give you Margarita's position and conditions. They left from Auckland. Mintaka has left from Auckland, and we have Seawind on their way as well. I wouldn't mind talking to Taku, going there in Tutukaka, just to make sure I've got the spelling right. I wrote down Tatu last night, Sabrina, but I see that there is a Taku with a K, so we'll just confirm that. Before I call in the boats, we will take them before David takes the microphone. I got contacted by email from Jonathan from Sea Mercy yesterday. As you know, Sea Mercy does a lot of work, mostly in the Fiji area, and they're concentrating this year on helping out the village of Sasui. It's at the southern end of Vanua Balavu. They got really significant cyclone damage to a lot of the infrastructure there, so there is a lot of work going on to help them. And also the help is at this end as well. And Sea Mercy are helped by the group up at the Black Ball Yacht Club. And I have also had an email from David on Sailing Vessel Rewa, who people will know up there. And they have got a Give a Little page set up to help donate for doing the more significant things up there. And if you need any more information, particularly if you're in the that area, David will be on streaming tonight, and you can ask him if there is any particular ideas that you might have to help, or just get involved with the whole process. So that would be good. It's always good to be able to contribute something, especially when it's so very well organised by the Sea Mercy group. Okay, let's see if I can contact the boats. Usually it's a little bit difficult when they're very close, but I will try for Mintaka, Gulf Harbour Radio.
Good evening, Mr. Mintaka. We're popping you loud and clear.
Well, that's good. In fact, I've got you on both my home one, because you're not that far away, but I will work on the other one to keep it normal. Go ahead and tell us what it's like out there, Phil. Over.
Our current position is 3 south, 174, 550. So, between January and West area. We've got 20 knots from the south. The swell is nothing like what is being broadcasted. It's significantly less. It's between a metre and a metre and a half at 7 seconds. And there's a really nominal northeast swell left from that front that went through.
Well, that's good. It was short and sharp last night, wasn't it? I bet you were beginning to wonder about leaving today, but boy, it went through quite quickly. Okay, so Mintaka, who left Auckland, cleared out of Auckland today, probably about the same time as Margarita. They are almost at, I had to switch listening to my local one here. Not quite at Great Barrier Island. 20 knots from the south, which is what Margarita reported. And the swell is not too bad. That's great. 1 metre to 1.5, 7 seconds, presumably from the same direction. Well, and not much from the northeast from that front. So Oh, well, it's actually pretty pleasant for everybody on board, over.
Yeah, we're starting with a Falcon configuration with a fold out on port, and we'll look at probably a dive in the morning. No, very comfortable sailing here, Patricia, where everyone's happy to say everyone's getting their sea legs pretty gently. It's actually really nice out here.
Oh, that's really good to hear, because I was wondering what effect that little episode with the front last night was going to do for people. And really, really good radio signal to me here. Well, mind you, you're not all that far away, are you? So all sounds good and everyone's happy. So we'll talk to you again tomorrow, Phil. Clear with you, and I will actually give you Margarita's position. Came in at 5 o'clock. They're at 3608 east and 17514. Sorry, 3608 south, 17514 east on a course of 025 true, 7 knots, and the wind, like you said, is 20 knots. They've got southwest, moderate sea, and 30% cloud cover. Actually, just on the subject of the wind direction, folks, it's if you can just make sure it is the true wind direction, that would help, because that's what we see on models and various weather, official weather reports, so that would be good. So those 4 on board are doing pretty well too. So that sounds good. Okay, let's see if Seawind are on frequency. Go ahead, over.
Harbour Radio, this is Seawind on the frequency. How copy? Over.
Oh, very nice copy, thanks, Lars. So go ahead with your position and conditions, over.
Yeah, good evening, Patricia. Unfortunately, I read you not quite so good. I had a pulsating background noise, but I can't read you. So here's our report anyway. Well, the position is 34 degrees, 51 minutes south, 174 degrees, 60 minutes east. Now, copy?
Yes, I have you at a good copy, actually, good copy. 3451 south and 17416 east. Carry on.
Okay, very well, that's correct. Yeah, we've had a fantastic start of our journey. We cleared out to Okoa this morning here at 10:30, and that picked up and has been on the way for quite some time now. We've done 30 nautical miles so far, and it's been awesome. The sea state here is not as bad as people were afraid of. Quite a few boats actually stayed in Okoa due to the report of the sea state, but we probably have meter and a half, I would say, southeast of this well. The wind is about 16 to 20 knots from the south, basically, or a little bit southwesterly. And it's a beautiful day, and the sun's been shining all day, and we are super happy to be on the way again. Over.
Okay, so that's really good. So you've confirmed the sea is down at lower than expected, a 1.5 metre southeast swell with the wind 16 to 20 south with a bit of westing in it, and a nice sunny day. What a lovely way to start the passage. Sounds really, really good. Just give me your course and speed, over.
Can you repeat that, over?
Yes, your course and speed, over.
Yes, of course. Our heading for the moment is about 25 degrees true course, and speed is 5.5 to 6 knots, over.
Roger that. And Seawind are on their way from Okoa and have got a course of 025 and 5.5 knots, and you are heading to Fiji. And I presume it's the Denarau side, over.
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, which side of Fiji are you going to check in at, Denarau or Savu Savu? I didn't write that down, over.
The plan is to go straight to Savu Savu, over.
Oh, roger that, Savu Savu. Okay, I'm glad I asked. Okay, And if you decide to stop at Minerva, please let me know. But we will talk to you again tomorrow. It should be better for you to hear me tomorrow. And good evening to Suzanne as well. So clear with sea wind. Is there anybody else on passage wanting to check in? Nothing heard. I will pass the microphone and ask for any other traffic relating to anything shortly.
Well, good evening and good reports tonight. Happy to hear. A nice day in New Zealand, so that's great. 3 boats and probably more out there heading north. Anyway, not so nice in New Cal or Vanuatu or Fiji or Tonga. The synoptic charts show a tropical depression has formed between Vanuatu and Fiji. Now, it's not strong, but it's wet and pushes a number of troughs to cover and annoy the main island groups. It's not going to do much, folks. It's going to track, and I'll talk about that in a second, but the big highs to the south are just blocking any effort that it may have to want to come in this direction. Ordinarily, I would say be very careful when you see these sort of things developing in the beginning of a passage, but it's looking pretty good at this point. So looking at Fiji, the strong wind warning continues to remain in force. East to northeast winds 20 to 30 knots. That's through tomorrow. Expect heavy rain and thunderstorms. A lovely holiday weekend. Tonga's getting the good news too. Gale warnings, heavy rain, flash floods, damaging swell, and, well, I tell you, I could go on. The Minervas, gale force winds as well. So the weather for New Zealand tomorrow up at the Bay of Islands is totally the opposite for the islands. Southeast winds about 20 knots in the morning, then easing to about 15 in the evening. And partly cloudy conditions Sunday and Monday. So nice weather for those that have not left yet, that are planning on this weekend or Monday. However, arrival weather is really a guessing game at this point. So anyway, the new high will be in the mid-Tasman by lunch tomorrow. It's strong at 1033 millibar and is moving slowly east, but seems to stall on Tuesday. Now, the tropical low that I described earlier is moving east-southeast to lie over the Lau on Monday. Then it moves rapidly southeast. Tuesday it'll lie near about 23 south and 168 west. And the reason it is going in that direction is because we have 2 big highs. We have the one on the Tasman, and then we have one further to the east. And they are not allowing anything to come south. So that's all good news. However, on Tuesday, another depression forms over the southern Solomons. And that one moves over Vanuatu by Thursday the 15th. And then it seems to fade, goes away. So again, thank you very much, highs. So while all of this is going on, the guessing game that I talked about earlier seems to favor a decent passage north. So that sounds good, doesn't it? Time will tell, and we'll tell you as this next week develops. So keep our fingers crossed, looking good at this point. So with that, here's the chief.
Okay, and whilst you were talking, I was quickly having a look at streaming chat, and Don, I've forgotten what boat name you are. Help me with my memory there, or just call in when I give you a chance in half a minute. And just to confirm that David Irwin from Rewa is on the chat if anyone wants to make contact, and if you can help, Vunda and Yacht Help are also receiving donations for those folk that are in Fiji. Okay, I'm just going to. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention before I put another call out is I heard a bit of a disturbing thing today, and that's that people with VHFs on their boat, as most people do have them, it is a requirement by the coal regs for you to have your VHF on when you are outside of the country and on passage. So please make sure that you do have it. It is Coal Regs Rule number 5. It's also a New Zealand maritime law for boats that are outside of our area. For two reasons, it's important to have your VHF on and listening, because one is you can hear anybody that's in distress and be able to assist with relays and things, and two, you can hear any broadcasts that authorities can put out. This would be if you're closer to places like Fiji and Tonga and so on, of anything that you need to know about. So please make sure you do your bit for safety at sea, and make sure that you do have your VHF on as is required for any vessel on passage. Okay, another call for anybody with anything. That's interesting because Don, just talking to you, I can hear myself on the antenna at Kaio. So if it weren't for the fact that there were hundreds of competing antennas around you, you would be able to hear from Opua, but clearly it's just too noisy and not possible, which I can expect. Certainly if I'm on the boat down here at Gulf Harbour, it's almost impossible to hear anybody. Okay, well, for the boats that are at sea and those that are leaving tomorrow, actually, I wouldn't mind just hearing if Sabrina is on frequency. Taku, are you on frequency? No, I bet they are gone eating at the various options to Takaka. But I think that I have got the spelling right now. It's Tango Alpha Kilo Uniform, not Tatu with a T. Okay, that's all from us, folks. I know there will be quite a few boats leaving tomorrow, and you'll all be getting ready and enjoying your last good night of sleeping. But I'm sure you were very happy to hear that the seas are nowhere near as nasty as they have been. And we've been hearing reports that the last passage had seas up to 7 metres, which is, for me, quite horrific. It would be more than a 3-bag day, I think, for me in seas like that. But anyway, much more pleasant this time round. So you'll not be too concerned about having to do a bit of tacking. Okay, cheers everybody. Have a very good evening, and we'll be back again tomorrow.